Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Hoppy Hour with Bob and Jimmy. I'm Bob,
And I'm Jimmy.
and did you ever wonder, Jimmy, why we associate the giant steins and Oompa bands with autumn?
Yeah.
Well, it all comes down to a special beer style and a legendary festival. That beer style is Marzen beer, and Oktoberfest is the festival. So let's rewind the clock back to the 19th century in Munich, Bavaria. Back then, brewing beer was a year-round business. But before refrigeration, brewers faced a challenge during the warmer months. Beer would spoil quickly if not properly stored. And that can be a real problem, can't it, Jimmy?
Sure can, Bob. But the early brewmasters came up with a solution. Enter Marzen beer or March beer. Brewers discovered that by brewing a stronger, lagered beer in March, that's Marzen in German, and store it in a cool cellar until autumn, they could enjoy fresh beer throughout the warmer months. This lager beer was made to withstand the warmer temperatures and provided a smoother, more refreshing taste compared to the lighter beers that were brewed typically at that time. This innovation paved the way for a truly special celebration. In 1810, the Bavarian Crown Prince Ludwig married Princess Therese.
Okay.
And to celebrate, a 5-day horse race was held on the fields outside the city gates. Now, all the people of Munich were invited to join in the festivities. This became an annual event, and the tradition of drinking Marzen beer at the Oktoberfest was born. The festival quickly grew in popularity, becoming a symbol of Bavarian culture and a celebration of harvest and community.
Okay.
Today, Oktoberfest is a global phenomenon. Millions of people like you and I travel to Munich to experience the vibrant atmosphere, the delicious food, and of course the Marzen beer. You think about the food. Marzen beer is characterized by its rich amber color, malty sweetness, and smooth, slightly toasty flavor. It's a perfect beer for celebrating autumn and enjoying the crisp air, Bob.
Sounds like fun, Jimmy.
Yes.
But let's look closer at the star of Oktoberfest, the beer. In the beginning, all beer served at Oktoberfest was of the dark lager Marzen kind, the beginnings of today's Dunkel lagers. This was because the kilning techniques at the time could only produce dark malts. Marzen is a German amber lager, dark copper to reddish brown in color, crisp but also smooth, with sweet toasted bread aroma and faint hits of spice. It's sweet but with a noticeable hop bite, and it has a dry finish. The typical ABV is between 5 and 6%. In 1841, the Spaten Brewery introduced a lighter color amber lager, also made with Munich malt, but in combination with a very lightly kilned pale malt. This new easy drinking beer was called the Modern Marzen, and gradually it replaced Dunkel to become the official beer of Oktoberfest in 1872. And everything progressed pretty smoothly after that until the late 20th century. The Fest beer came to replace Marzen lagers served during Oktoberfest. Fest beer is a strong golden German lager with a great long-lasting white head. It has a deep gold color. The mash contains both Pilsner malt and Munich malt, and it showcases bready notes with a rich flavor underpinned by moderate sweetness. It has traits similar to Helles and Malbec, malty backbone, spicy and floral hop bite, moderately full body, and a dry finish. The ABV is a little higher, 6 to 6.5%. Golden in color, very easy to drink. It debuted during the festival in the 1970s. The style appealed to attendees, and by the 1990s, all beer served at Oktoberfest was Fest beer, as Marzen had been officially replaced. Now, because Oktoberfest is a Munich festival that's organized primarily for the residents of Munich and the surrounding areas, only Munich breweries can brew beers that are served during Oktoberfest. Then only those beers can be sold on the Wiesen, which is the grounds where the festival is held. Now, everyone brewing seasonal amber lagers anywhere else in the world but inside Munich city walls makes Oktoberfest style beer. So, Jimmy, what's an Oktoberfest style beer?
And you're asking me. Okay.
Yes.
Well, at its heart, Bob, Oktoberfest style beer is a lager, usually in the style of the German Marzen, brewed by a brewery located anywhere outside the city limits of Munich. In the U.S., the predominant opinion is that Oktoberfest beers are amber Marzens. So when you buy a seasonal lager, amber lager here in the U.S., it will be either called Oktoberfest style beer or Marzen or some combination of both of those names.
Okay.
American brewers commonly produce Marzen Oktoberfests with a rich caramel color and taste sweeter than their German counterparts, with toasty and warm spice notes and the underlying restrained hop bitterness. And by the way, Bob, did you know that there is another seasonal option offered by a number of craft breweries throughout the United States?
What would that be?
It would be called a Vienna Lager, and it's very similar to Marzen, but lighter in color.
Okay.
Due to the use of Vienna malt, typically less malty and a bit more bitter than Marzen, with ABV between 4.5% and 5.5%.
Okay.
In brief, Vienna Lager was the result of the work of an Austrian brewer, a very skilled one by the name of Anton Dreyer. He was also influenced by the English kilning techniques and decided to produce and use paler malts. He still used Bavarian lager yeast and created an elegant maltiness balance by firm but not pervasive bitterness. He was known to describe his amber lager as a new Marzen.
Okay, so the next time you raise a stein of Marzen beer and listen to Oompa bands, remember the story behind this unique beer style and the incredible tradition of Oktoberfest. It's a testament to the ingenuity of brewers and a perfect representation of Bavarian tradition and a celebration of history, culture, and community, all wrapped up in a delicious amber-colored package. And we have several fine examples of Oktoberfest style or Marzen beers here in front of us to sample today.
Yes.
Some are from breweries in the Wilmington area, but we do have one from outside of Wilmington as a bonus later on.
Oh, yes.
So let's get started. Our first beer up is from the Salty Turtle Brewery, and it is their Oktoberfest. Their malts include Munich and Pilsner. The hops are Hallertau and Pearl. And the flavor profile is bread, malty, and smooth with an ABV of about 5.5%. So why don't we open that up, Jim, and pour a glass and see how it tastes.
You gonna let me open the first?
Yeah, I'll let you open the first one this time.
All right. Here we go. Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah, not bad. It's darker than some beers, very clear. Very nice head. Oh, yeah, you can smell the bread notes.
I can smell it as I'm pouring
as you're pouring it, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely has that that malty aroma to it.
Beautiful color.
Yes. Yeah, good representation of an Oktoberfest style beer. This is excellent.
It is very good.
Very clean on the finish and dry.
Very dry.
As the style dictates. So, excellent beer. Excellent beer. Our next one comes from one of my favorite breweries, which is Edward Teach Brewery. This was actually the first beer that I had when I came into Wilmington was their Oktoberfest, because we came in during that time, and it was I thought an excellent example. But I want to try it here and see what we think. What can you tell us about this?
What can I tell you about?
Yeah, what can you tell us about?
Well, Edward Teach Brewery showcases the balance of the Oktoberfest showcases the balance of Munich malt and noble hops, true to the Oktoberfest style.
Okay.
Offers a rich breads malt profile and with a clean and crisp finish. ABV is 5.7.
Well, let's.
So we're gonna try it.
I think I poured it a little too too much here, but
oh, look at that! But you got no head on it.
Yeah. Oh, got some spiciness in there. Doesn't have much of a head at all.
No, it doesn't.
Good bready aroma, and that
it's got a nice taste though.
A little darker than the first. More towards that dark Marzen, the Dunkel Marzen look. Not quite, but good flavor. Nice finish.
Yep, good flavor. I just don't.
Nice and clean.
I gotta see if it had a head.
See if you can get ahead. You're just gonna pour it straight down the middle, aren't you? There you go.
There you go. All right. Now that's the way it's supposed to be.
Okay, so moving on to our next beer. This beer comes from across the bridge. Okay, this is from Leland Brewing Company, and it's their Oktoberfest. The amber lager is malted with Pilsner, light Munich, and special B malts. Its hops are Magnum and Tettnang, and it has an ABV of about 5.3%. So let's crack that one open, and I'll let you pour since I didn't do real well on the last one.
You got to train you. Look at that, Bob.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
There you go. That's the way it should look. Oh, nice, good dark color again, similar to.
It's a little bit lighter than the last one.
Oh.
No, maybe not.
No,
oh, it's about the same.
Looks about the same. Nice and clean. Homey head. Not as much spice as what's in the the Edward Teach offering, but you can taste a little bit of it. It's sweet. Not a lot of hop bite either.
Don't have any though.
No. Mouth feels a little. No, I don't want to say creamy, but it's smoother than the others.
Yeah.
Okay. Not any.
Got a little more aftertaste.
Does it?
It lingers a little bit more than.
Yeah. Oh, the aromas are great. Good. Again, all so far, good bready aromas. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. That's an excellent offering.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Our next offering is Outer Dunes Brewing. Their Dune Bra This beer.
So, one of our first fest beers then?
Yes.
All right.
This is a golden fest beer, and it's brewed with the traditional German malts, paired with noble German hops for a clean and crisp modern Oktoberfest lager.
Oh, it's got all the right makings.
ABV is 5.5%. So let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot. There you go. So, ooh, this is a little lighter in color than the others. Even, no, it's even lighter than.
Yes, it's the lightest one here.
So far, yeah. That is a much lighter beer than what we've had in the other ones. It's got a really clean finish, but it's sweet.
It's very sweet. Yeah.
I think it's sweeter than the others have been. I can taste the hops. Bread notes, some caramel. A little bit of an aftertaste, but still pretty clean mouthfeel on this.
Not as strong as that last one with the aftertaste. But it's a very light beer.
Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Yeah. All right. Our next beer comes from the Flying Machine Brewery. It's also a fest beer. It's crafted with floor malted German Pilsner and Munich malts, hopped with Hellertauben and Speer hops. This beer is a showcase for pleasant floral hop characters balanced with rich malt notes of freshly baked bread. There's some subtle caramel notes as well, blended with a lightly toasted bread and characteristics in the malt profile. The ABV is 5.6%. Now, you heard me mention floor malting.
Yes, I never heard of that.
You never heard of that before? Okay. Are you a Scotch drinker by any chance? Because floor malting is something that was done traditionally a long time ago, but had lost favor with beer brewers. Done with Scotch whiskey distilling in Scotland, but not so much anymore with beer. However, floor malting, it's a traditional method of malting grain that dates all the way back to the 3rd century AD. Now, for those of you who are doing the math in your head, that was right around the time the Roman Empire was failing. So it's a long time ago. But after steeping the grain, the floor malting process requires that the wet grain be put on a smooth concrete floor.
Did they have concrete in those days?
They had concrete in those days. They did. As a matter of fact, the Romans were one of the first to invent work with concrete.
Cool.
But it's on a concrete floor while it germinates over the course of 4 to 5 days.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the grain germinates and produces that sweet sugar that's fermented into alcohol. During that time, the grain is turned either by hand or by machine, of course, but every 8 hours or so. And that's in order to prevent it growing roots and forming a mat
in that
some kind. Right. Well, with each other. But once the malt master feels that he's got the right amount of sugar and enzymes produced, the grain is collected and then moved to a kiln to stop the malting. But that's floor malting, just so you know. Okay. And as we said, the malt here is floor malted, so an old style use of it. Let's open this up. Oh, I got a head already.
Oh yeah.
So
it's been waiting for you.
It's been waiting. Yes.
Oh, that looks good. Nice color.
Yeah. Not quite, a little lighter than some, but darker than the first one and the last one. Oh.
Got a refreshing smell.
It does. It has a very, but still, I mean, you can smell the bread.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems a lighter smell than the others. Oh, little more. It's got a sweetness and a spiciness that kind of combines there. Not quite as clean a finish as the ones, but still, just a slight aftertaste on the back of the tongue, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a pretty drinkable beer, actually.
It's very good. Very good. Yep. I like that beer. Okay. So that was from Flying Machine. Jimmy, let's head back over the bridge again.
All right, we'll do that. And I think we'll look at Brunswick Beer and Cider. Okay. Their offering is an Oktoberfest lager. I think that's what they call it.
Yep.
Comes to us from across the bridge, of course, in Leland. It malts include 2-row barley crystal, rye, Munich, and Vienna. The hops are German traditional. ABV is 5.3. The flavor profile is an elegant malt, well balanced with a crisp finish.
Well, let's give it a shot, shall we?
I think we ought to do that.
All right.
Oh, look at that. From over the bridge.
Good, nice dark color. I have 4 out of the 5, or 4 out of the 6 have the
It's
same
probably
color.
That the second one, which is
Oh, good notes of bread.
yes.
You can. And tastes like it smells. It's got that good malt forward taste of the
That's a drinkable beer.
That's a very drinkable beer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very,
It's
very
good.
good.
I like that.
This comes from
Brunswick beer.
Brunswick Beer and Cider, yeah. And ooh, very nice.
I can drink that beer.
Excellent. Excellent beer.
Mm.
Actually, 6 very good offerings for Oktoberfest. If you're in the Wilmington, North Carolina area and you want to celebrate with your friends, eat some pretzels. Any one of these 6 beers at any of these breweries would be would fill the bill.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, other breweries in town, and we have 25 of them now, also offer Oktoberfests. We can't again have everybody on board, but
we'd be trashed by the end.
We would be trashed by the end of the show. But these 6 are ones that you should try if you're out and about in the Wilmington area, and if not, just visit your local brewery, because this time of year, I'm sure you'll find that they offer you a great selection of Oktoberfest. Speaking of outside the area, Jimmy, I have a bonus beer for us.
Oh, really?
Yes, I do.
A bonus beer?
Well, this past week, my wife and I happened to slip down to the Atlanta, Georgia area visiting family. Yep. And while we were there, of course, I wanted to.
Of course, you went to a brewery.
Of course, I went to a brewery. I had to check out the breweries, and she is getting us the brewery or the beer now. This is from Reformation Oktoberfest. Can I have another one of these as well too? No, the big out here, yeah, in here, yeah. This is from Reformation Brewery. Okay, they say they're from Canton, Georgia. Yes.
Oh, Georgia.
But we visited. They have 2 other locations, and we visited the one in Woodstock. They brew at both Woodstock and Canton, and Canton's their big brewery. No. If you have another one of these, we'll take one. Yes, but it's trying to hand me a Liederstein here.
Well,
there you go.
Oh, look at this.
And one more of the Reformation Brewery, please. But I had this Oktoberfest there, and it was superb. I thought it was one of the best Oktoberfest I had tried in a while. Okay, and I had to bring it back since I knew we were going to.
What's the ABV? Did you tell me?
The ABV on this is
5.5.
5.5. Yes, it is it's a Marzen style, actually coffee malt with Bavarian yeast. It's a
now we're talking, folks.
Now we're talking. Yeah, this is what happens when we drink bonus beers.
Yes,
we get the whole thing, but.
We'll do this more often.
We should, yeah. But the color is a little, I want to say about the same maybe as what we saw in the darker beers up there. But this has a nice foamy head, okay, very creamy head, all right? Mm. The aroma is very bready, and I'm going to let you talk about the taste.
Whoa,
Uh-huh.
that's a drinkable beer. Man.
Yes, it is, isn't it?
It's only what, 5%,
Mm-hmm.
5.5%? Oh,
Yep. This beer we had when we were down there, and I just, it struck me as I needed to bring this back.
I can
and,
see
and
why.
try it, yeah, and have it on the show. Now, if you're in the Georgia area watching this, or if you the Atlanta area watching this, and you happen to be visiting that area, stop at either their Woodstock or their Canton or their Smyrna area, and any one of those tap rooms. Like I said, they brew it too. They brew it. Canton is the big brewery. That place is huge. Woodstock is one of the nicest outdoor. They have an indoor space, but their outdoor space is probably 3 times the size of what the indoor is.
Oh, really?
Beautiful space to sit. They have 3 bars going. It's
I'm jealous.
yeah, a very nice place. So if anybody gets a chance to stop by Reformation Brewery in Canton, Georgia, or Woodstock, Georgia, you should do it because you won't be disappointed. I tried a couple of their beers. And not only do they do beers, okay, but they also make their own bourbon.
Really?
And they make their own cherry cola.
Huh.
So they offer some cocktails. They offer some non-alcoholic cocktails. If you're going with friends that don't drink or you have a designated driver, they can still have a mocktail. And they're very, very good. But check it out. Okay.
I plan to.
All right. And Prost, which is German for cheers, if you didn't know. And until the next time, we hope you learned something and we hope you enjoyed the show. But in the meantime, he's Jimmy.
And that's Bob.
We'll see you.